Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Om Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om
Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Naranjaiva Narottamam
Naranjaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Sadasnyasam
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayamudiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavate Uttamasloke
Bhagavate Uttamasloke
Bhaktin Bhavatir Naisiti
Bhaktin Bhavati Naisagi
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya cha
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Nandagopa Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1, Chapter 19, text number 30. 1930, the appearance of Śukadeva Gosvāmī, the continuation of the same chapter. Please repeat, begin with that sloka. saṁvṛtas tatra mahān mahīyasāṁ.
saṁvṛtas tatra mahān mahīyasām.
brahmarṣi-rājarṣi-devarṣi-saṅghaiḥ.
brahmarṣi-rājarṣi-devarṣi-saṅghaiḥ.
vyarocatālaṁ bhagavān yathendur.
vyarocatālaṁ bhagavān yathendur.
graharkṣa-tārā-nikaraiḥ parītaḥ.
graharkṣa-tārā-nikaraiḥ parītaḥ.
Word by word meaning, please repeat behind me. Saha. Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī.
Śrī Śukadeva Gosvāmī.
saṁvṛtaḥ.
Saṁvṛtaḥ.
Surrounded by.
Surrounded by.
Tatra. There. mahān. Great. mahīyasām. Of the greatest. brahmarṣi. Saint among the brahmaṇas. ṛājarṣi. Saint among the kings. devarṣi. Saint among the demigods. saṅghaiḥ. By the assembly of. vyarocata. Well deserved. alam. Able. bhagavān. Powerful. yathā. As. induḥ. The moon. graha. Planets. ṛkṣa. Heavenly bodies. Tara. Stars. Nikarahi. By the assembly of. parītaḥ. Surrounded by. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnavinda A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation, please repeat behind me. Śukadeva Gosvāmī was then surrounded by saintly sages and demigods, just as the moon is surrounded by stars.
Is surrounded by stars,
planets,
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 and other heavenly bodies.
and other heavenly
other
bodies.
heavenly bodies.
His presence was
His presence was
Presence was
gorgeous,
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 and he was
and he was
and he was
respected by all.
respected by all.
Purport: in the great assembly of saintly personalities, there was Vyasadeva, the brahmarṣi, Vyasadeva, the brahmarṣi, Narada, the devarishi, Parasurama, the great ruler of the Kshatriya kings, etc. Some of them were powerful incarnation of the Lord. Śukadeva Gosvāmī was not known as brahmarṣi-rājarṣi or devarishi, nor was he an incarnation like Narada, Vyasa or Parasurama. And yet he excelled them in respects paid. This means that the devotee of the Lord is more honored in the world than the Lord himself. One should therefore never minimize the importance of a devotee like Śukadeva Gosvāmī. Om Tassat. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshulunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavad Pashasha Desha Dharane. Hare Krishna. So today's sloka, it is talking about, so Śukadeva Gosvāmī, he reached that bank of Ganges where Parītaḥ Maharaj and all the assembled sages were there. He reached there, he came there. That means by accidentally, he came there. Yesterday we discussed that all the boys, children and women, they are surrounded by him, they are coming, they are seeing him as a different person because he never wear any dress. So he came as a naked person and he looked like a mad person for the mundane eyes. So all the boys and women, they surrounded him and came there. And when he reached the bank of Ganges, all the rishis, they give the obeisances to him, and Parītaḥ Maharaj invited him and give the humble obeisances. And he himself bowed down in front of Narada Muni and Vaisadeva. So all those things, by seeing all those things, the other women and the children, they were chased there from activity. They were struck with wonder. Oh, what is happening? We thought this person is a mad person, but all these sages and the king, even the king himself is giving the great respect to this person. So he must be a saintly person. There's a reason they chased from the place. And now today, so now once the Śukadeva Gosvāmī, everybody came and they offered their obeisances and shared their obeisances between Śukadeva Gosvāmī and other sages. Now Śukadeva Gosvāmī surrounded by all the saintly sages and demigods. So how it is look like? It looked like the moon is surrounded by stars. So the moon, how the sky, how you can see the moon surrounded by so many stars and other planets, how it will be? All the heavenly bodies, that is other heavenly planets, everything surrounded by the moon. So the moon is in the center, all the other stars and heavenly bodies are surrounded by him. So like that it is look like, because the sages, the Śukadeva Gosvāmī was surrounded by all the sages, demigods. It looks like the great look. And it's look like very beautiful because the great sage came over there. He's a great Vaisnava. And here Prabhupada is mentioning that in that shloka, it is mentioning that assembly, they have the brahmarṣi, rājarṣi and devarishi and the multiple incarnation of God himself. So though many rishis are there, so many great personalities are there, but all they're more attraction towards this Vaishnava devotee of the. He is not a brahmarṣi. Śukadeva Gosvāmī is not a brahmarṣi, rājarṣi or devarishi. He is just a Vaishnava pure devotee of the Lord. That's all. So, but the worldly people and as well as the sages, everyone, he give the great respect to a devotee of the Lord. That is the beauty of becoming a Vaishnava. So we also need to try to become a devotee of the Lord. Currently, we are not a devotee of the Lord. We are trying to become a devotee of the Lord. Because of the false ego, we are unable to leave our false ego and our pride and our senses. We are able to control our senses. We are all trying to control our senses to excel, to become a devotee of the Lord. So currently we are under the practicing. We are doing the practice. We are the practitioners. We are the neophyte devotees. That means we are starting form of devotees. But Śukadeva Gosvāmī, kind of the exalted devotees, is in his age, by looking his 16 years age. So in his that age, young age itself, he was getting the respect of honor from all over the world. So that means he is a great personality, and also he is a devotee of the Lord. So Vaishnavas, wherever Vaishnavas are going, they will get the great respect. Even if you could have experienced that. If you are going with a tilak, people will give the different respect to you. Even though the people are ignorant, they may not aware what is God, all those stuffs. They may be in the ignorance. But still, by seeing your appearance, wearing that kandimala, wearing tilak, and going with the dhoti kurta, so by seeing that, the people will think that, okay, he is a saintly person. So if I go somewhere, people are used to call me, hey, Swami, Swami. So we are not qualified for that. But still, people are giving the respect. The respect is not giving for us for our appearance. By wearing a tilak, by wearing the kandimala, wearing the dhoti kurta, by appearance, it is become immediately why wearing, even though the person who is a thief, if he remove his hairs and if he wear the tilak and wearing the Vaishnava dress, immediately people will respect, even though he is a thief. Because the external appearance, immediately it will change. It can be changed. So it will resemble the devotees of the Lord. That is the reason immediately the people will give the respect by seeing the external appearance. So if you become a real and a pure devotee of the Lord, if you become like a Śukadeva Gosvāmī, how much respect we can understand from this sloka. Even the brahmarṣi-rājarṣi, then Devarishi, Narada, everyone giving the respect and welcome him. So that is the way the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord are glorified and they will be taken care. In Bhagavad Gita 9.30, Krishna is saying that, I'm having a translation, even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. So what Krishna is saying, that the person is doing the more, committed a most abominable action. Yes, Vaishnava, by default, Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, they won't do any abominable activity. But by mistake, even though they did, and if they continuing this, they're engaged in the devotional activities, devotional service, they supposed to be considered as a saintly person because he is properly situated in the determination. So that is the verdict of the Lord. It's not himself. So yes, why we are firmly we are saying that Vaishnava devotees, they won't do any abominable activity because Vaishnava devotees, they are following the four Vaishnavas, they are following the four regulative principles. So by no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and what is the fourth one? No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. So these four. So if you follow these four, we will get cleanliness, truthfulness, mercy, and renunciation. Not renunciation. What is that? Pure. We will be pure. So tapasya. So these are the four things we will get if you follow these four principles. So Vaishnava devotees, this is the four basic principle. If someone is supposed to be a devotee of the Lord, wanted to be a devotee of the Lord, they are supposed to follow this four regulative principle. So if you follow this four regulative principle, automatically, because if a mercy is coming with you, then automatically you will leave all your abominable activity. You cannot do any abominable activity. Because we have the mercy in our mind. In our consciousness, if we have the mercy, then we won't do any abominable activity. So in suppose, even though if you did, then Lord himself is saying, if you continue your devotional service, it will be, say, there is a saying in There is a proverb, right? If you want to remove the thorn, you need to use the other thorn so that the thorn will be removed. If you work on that thorn, then thorn get into your body. Then if you want to remove that thorn, you have to use other thorn so that it can be removed. So similar way, if you are while doing the devotional service, if you do the abominable activity, then to remove that, you have to do more devotional service so that it can be eradicated. So from this sloka, we can understand that. And if you, the next sloka, the 31, what Krishna is saying, we'll see. In the 31 sloka, 9.31. Shipram bhavati dharmatma sasvakṣantim nigacchati kaundeya pratijanitihi name bhaktaha pranashyati. What is saying? The abominable activity was doing, continuing the previous sloka, continuation of the previous sloka. The person who did abominable activity, if you do the devotional service, he will be considered as a saintly person, right? Then that person, he quickly become righteous and attain lasting peace. So, if you continue that, if you did abominable activity, you are repent for that. Okay, I did more. You are in front of the Lord, you are bowing down and you are saying, you are surrendering to the Lord. You are saying that the devotee who did the abominable activity, he was feeling for that abominable activity by accidentally he did, and he will continue his devotional service. Then he quickly become righteous. He will become righteous and attain the lasting peace, and he will get back to the peace whatever he used to get when he was initially as a devotee. So it is easy. So devotional service has the power to change, to convert a abominable activity person also. Even though the person who was doing initially, he was doing a devotional activity, by mistake he did committed some abominable activity. Then again, if we continue that, quickly he become righteous and will attain the lasting peace. And also another thing Krishna is saying that in this sloka, O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So this is the another thing. So Krishna himself is not declaring this. Krishna is the authority. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is not declaring my devotees never perishes. He is asking Arjuna to declare that. Boldly declare that my devotees never perishes. Like that. Why Krishna is saying like that? Because people may think that because Krishna said that in he may cross his promises. Because in the Kurukshetra war, Krishna told, I won't take any weapon. But Bhishmadeva made him to take the weapon. But he crossed his promise there. So, and there are multiple ways he did a plan, and because of his plans, the Pandava parties won the war. So, people may think that he will tell something and he will do something. So they may not have the faith on the Lord, faith on the Lord's words. So that's the reason Lord himself is saying that ask the devotee. So that is the call. He is giving the higher position to the devotee. Here you can understand. Lord is not, is giving more higher position than him to the devotee. Arjuna is saying that, Arjuna, you declare that my devotee never perishes. So that is the way even Lord himself is giving the great place to the devotees. So that is why we can understand. So what is the position of if you become a devotee of the Lord? And also in 4.8, fourth chapter, Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter and 8th sloka, what he is saying that why he is coming? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya sadukshadam dharma samastavanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Why he is personally coming? The first thing he is coming to protect his devotees. So Lord has that much love towards his devotees. You want to love and affection towards his devotees. That is the reason if you want to appear, he is appearing to protect his devotees. First, yes, if you want to kill the demon, he can sit in the Goloka Vrindavana. From there, he can leave the Sudarshan Chakra. It will come and it will destroy everything. But the devotees of the Lord need to be protected So that is reason he came. He personally is coming and is saving the devotees. So here we can understand that how the Lord is taking care of his devotees. If you see the great personalities, great devotees stories, everywhere, even though they are going through so many problems, but finally they will be glorified by the entire world. And also, Lord will give that much position to them also. If you take any example, Vaisnava devotees. For example, if you take Dhruva Maharaj, the very small age, very small, Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, very small age, they took up this devotional service and they met the Lord himself. He appeared in front of them. He provided the knowledge to them. So they are glorified. Yuga means after many yugas also still we are glorifying them. Dhruva Maharaj, we are talking about Dhruva Maharaj, we are talking about Prahlad Maharaj. There are so many kings, so many people, so many great personalities other than the devotional service. They come and go in this material world. We never talk about them like them. Yes, after yuga, we are still talking about them. That is the power to become a devotee of the Lord. Gajendra, even an elephant, he became a devotee. So that when Gajendra glorified the Lord appeared and he saved him. Because the Gajendra was in previous birth, he was the Indradumna Maharaj. So in previous birth, he did a devotional service, and the current birth, when he was the elephant, he was not doing any devotional service, but he had the remembrance. God gave the remembrance at the time when the crocodile caught his leg. That time, Lord gave the right time, he gave the remembrance to the Gajendra. Immediately he glorified the Lord. Immediately Lord came and saved him. So even even though the devotee, he may be in any form, but Lord will never forget the devotee. Whatever the devotional activity. See, Indradumna Maharaja, he did a devotional service in the previous birth. In the next birth, he is the elephant. But not in the elephant form, he won't do any devotional activities. He won't do any devotional service. He was, if you see the Bhagavatam, and he was like a with a full pride and ego. He was a great elephant. He was a big, huge elephant. So he was a full pride and he was growing here and there like that. It was explained in Bhagavatam. So by Bhagavatam, if you hear that, there is not a elephant. It's not a normal elephant. Gajendra is not a normal elephant. He was having that much power, but still he don't have any devotional service. He didn't do any devotional service in the form of elephant. But since the Gajendra, he did a devotional service in the previous birth, Lord protected him also. And if you hear the stories of Tukaram Maharaj, see, when he was there, nobody gave respect to Tukaram Maharaj. They were all thinking that he is a mad person. He was always thinking about the Lord, and he never took any revenge to the other person also. He was on his own way. He was always glorifying the Lord. Whatever the other person used to tell him or shout him, he never mind at all. He was always glorifying the Lord, and he was in the devotional activities. He was continuing the devotional activities. And finally, what happened? Lord himself sent the Pushpaka Vimana to him to bring it back to Goloka Vrindavana. So he went there. So he was glorifying his entire life. He spent only for Vitala, glorifying Vitala. He wrote crores of abhangs. People betrayed him like anything. Some people, they told he should not sing this. You are not qualified to sing. Throw all of your abhangs to the river. Everything they did, but he never worried for that. He always, whatever the coming on his way. That's why from these kind of devotees, we can understand that whatever coming along the way, we have to accept first, and we should not get agitated or we could not worry for that, because whatever it is giving, it is the prasad, it is the mercy of the Lord. If you take it that, it's okay, Lord giving me this pain for some reason, we need to understand that the devotees of the Lord will take that as in that way. Lord giving me this pain for me, this giving, I can able to bear this. That's the reason Lord is giving me. Through this, Lord wanted to show something to the world and to me also. So I should not get agitated if Lord is giving me any pain. If Lord is giving me any opponences, in that also I should not get agitated, because through this also, I want to establish the devotional service. So in either case, if we happen, something happened to good also, something and bad also, it won't affect the devotees of the Lord. So from all the great devotees, great personalities, we can understand this thing. They are very much determined in their bhakti. Whatever the situation may be, they are very much determined. That's the reason they get the mercy of the Lord and they are glorified till today. Even though many years before Narasimha avatar happened, Prahlad Maharaj was there. But still, even though he born in a Asura family, he became a devotee of the Lord. So it is not necessary to become a devotee of the Lord. We need to born in only the Vaishnavas family or brahmaṇas family, then only we become a devotee. It is not necessary. So whatever the doubt we have, we will say that frequently asked questions. Whenever if we are going to any of the process, then the company or the people, they will put the frequently asked questions, FAQ they will call it as, because people may have the general questions. Okay. So in bhakti also, once you enter bhakti, there also we will have the frequent questions like how the Lord will protect me, whether if I take the devotional service, Lord will give me this or not, or whether I get the pain or not. So all these questions will be there. All the FAQ, all the questions demonstrated, but if the company, theoretically they will give the frequently asked questions. But for the others, if you take the devotional activities, Lord demonstrated what if you take the devotional service, what will happen? He demonstrated with the different devotees in the different situation. So there is no such situation that you can't lament, you can't fear for that. Because even though you are getting another form of like an elephant, you can become a devotee. And if you are becoming a deer, Bharat Maharaj, he became a deer, and then he became a devotee of the Lord. So Lord protected him, Lord gave the remembrance, everything Lord will give. So that's why in the 15.15, Lord is giving that. From me, the knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness, it is all coming from me. So since Lord is giving us, because for us, there is birth after birth, we are forgetting that what is happening in the previous birth. But Lord won't forget what we did in the previous birth. So everything recorded in the Lord's notebook. So he never forget whatever we did in the previous births. So even though in this birth, because of the previous birth activities, we got some sukriti, we did some sukriti. That's the reason we are very fortunate to try to become a devotee of the Lord. We are getting the connection with the devotees, and we got the devotee, we got the Acharya like Prabhupada. We are so fallen because we can't imagine that how much fallen we are. But because in the Kali Yuga, we are very degraded. But still, Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we are able to taste the Bhagavatam. See how in my case, I never expect I am going to speak Bhagavatam, because once upon a time, I was speaking like an atheist. But later, so you see how I converted myself, I become changed myself, become a devotee of the Lord. I never thought. But once I touch that, this is only a small tinge of taste only, tinge of peace only I taste in devotional service. That tinge changed me in this way and changed all of you. The tinge, because of that, you are waking up in the morning 4:30 and chanting the holy name of the Lord. The small tinge is a taste you got. Because of that, we are unable to leave that. So if you taste the feast of devotional service, how it will be? So we need to taste the feast of devotional service by reading Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you read all those things, we will get a taste. That is the real feast of devotional service. If you taste that, definitely, I'm 100% sure that we will become a pure devotee one day. So because that much provisions provided by Prabhupada, he prepared everything. Readily is available. You don't want to go here and there. Everything readily available. You can become a devotee of the Lord in the pure devotee of the Lord in the very life. It is possible. Just need our endurance to do that. So today's sloka, it is declared, it is discussing, we discussed that Śukadeva Gosvāmī is a great devotee of the Lord, Vaisnava devotee of the Lord. That is the reason even the saintly persons and the brahmarṣi-rājarṣi-devarṣi, everyone glorified, and demigods glorified and he was in the center of attraction, like a moon. All the others are look like a stars around him. So that is the way the devotees of the Lord are glorified. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.
Jai.